posted on the internet in case you want to go back and refer to this, or in case somebody was not able to make it here. I just want to welcome you back to PLC IV and the aftermath of whatever it is that we've all gone through this semester. I'm appreciative to see so many of your smiling faces here today, or at least faces. Not everybody's smiling, and I totally get that. So my plan is to kind of spend maybe about 25 minutes, 30 minutes somewhere here together today, and just kind of go over some stuff. I want to get you into some groups to talk about some things, and then I want to just kind of, in general, go over what's going to happen for this course for the rest of the semester. And I'm going to try some things that may or may not work. I can put you into breakout rooms. I'm going to try to do that today and just let you guys talk with each other about some things. I also can share a screen, which I'm going to try to do that right now, and give you the general agenda of the day. Will you give me a thumbs up if you can see this? Yes, okay, good. Okay, so that's kind of the agenda for the day. Like I said, I like to spend about 25 or 30 minutes with you here and let you guys talk to each other too. A general welcome back. I'm going to let you guys talk to each other in a few moments about what you guys have been up to. But for the first thing, let's talk about what your grades are going to be for this semester. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. You should have received probably from me a COVID-19 grade, I think is what it's called in the grade book. That's going to be your grade. And what you do throughout here is probably not going to change that grade. In some cases, some of you probably received a bank error in your favor with that grade, but that's because things have just been so unprecedented and so crazy. It's really not fair, in my estimation, to assign you a grade, especially since the syllabus says this course is based on like your attendance and things like that. I can't guarantee that all of you will have access to internet. I can't guarantee that all of you will have access to working equipment. Some of you may be taking care of brothers, sisters, kids. There's any number of things that might be happening from now and until then. And so we'll just kind of use this as a class where we get together, talk about the things that you're doing in the class that's associated with this, but also I want to introduce some new material to you and have you do some discussions with each other throughout the course of the time that we're together. I know that the other sections of this class are meeting every other week, like Zooming every other week, and then in the interim week they have, I don't know what they're doing. We're going to do the same thing, except we're going to do some video watching between now and then too. So I just moved the PowerPoint, so I want to, you see the PLC IV class schedule. We'll see what that is, and you see that? Okay. So today, information, focusing questions. Next week is a time that I'm going to give you to watch and react to some videos of a particular subject, and I'm going to talk about what those subjects are going to be here in a second. April 8th, we get back together. You talk about your thoughts and what you've seen in those videos. Also, and somehow, you're going to have to do observations in the class that's associated with this. And so when I figure out from Dr. Smith what that's going to look like, we'll do some processing of those observations during this time. That'll be on April 8th. April 15th is a no Zoom day, but you'll have videos and things that you'll watch about standards-based grading on that day. Then we'll get back together on the 22nd and the 29th. That's the schedule that all of the PLC IVs are taking. I don't know exactly what they're focusing on. It may be the same stuff that we're doing. It may be a little different, but that's the general plan for the day. And I have this in this PowerPoint. I'll actually post this on our course website as well once I'm done today, so that you can see the course schedule. Let me show you our course website here. Let me share that with you. Okay, so you see the course website here. I've just essentially closed off everything else that the plan was for this semester, and I put on top what our focus is going to be in our PLC for the rest of this semester in relationship to what it is that you're doing in the integrated curriculum class, okay? So I think that I can kind of blend what we did during the first block and what we're going to do during this block through the lens of equitable grading. And so in a few moments, I'm going to put you into smaller groups. I'm going to ask you some focusing questions, let you guys talk about that. And then over the course of the time that we're here in the next few weeks, we're going to talk about 3 different areas of equitable grading and how that relates to what you're doing in designing the integrated curriculum. I think it's a unit plan that you're putting together, integrated curriculum unit. And so we're going to talk about grading in that lens. So our first week's session will be about late work and do-overs. Our second session will be about standards-based grading. And our third session will be about project-based learning. And again, that's what we'll do here over the next few weeks. I think we've got 6 total weeks left in the semester, and we'll meet 4 times, and you'll have 2 video watching days in that time. So that's how we'll kind of get through that. No threaded discussions or anything like that. Literally how we're going to process it is when you guys get together, you're going to get some prompting questions. You're going to talk about it in smaller groups, and that's how we'll try to build your knowledge base. If we were still meeting together, I would have you do an answer to a prompt after every time that you got through. But again, your lives have been kind of turned upside down, and you've got other things that you probably need to focus on. So in as much as we can, in the framework of when we're here, we're going to do that processing. And when you're not here, you need to kind of worry about taking care of yourself throughout the rest of the semester. Okay. Any questions about that so far? Anything that I've said that doesn't quite compute? Okay. Let me check my own little list of things to do here. I think what I'm going to do now, okay. So let me show you our focusing questions for the rest of the semester. And then I'm going to break you up into groups real quickly and let you just kind of talk about those focusing questions. We'll come back after that, do a little bit of processing out, and then I'm probably going to let you head out into the great beyond, wherever that is. But let me share with you, first of all, where to find that. So when I put you into groups, I'm going to ask you to go into the course website and find the module that says equitable grading. And I put it pretty close to the top. I'm going to ask you to open up this thing called focusing questions. And there's one kind of overall statement, and the statement is you're designing an integrated curriculum unit for the other class that's associated with this. And so what I'm going to ask you to do over these next few weeks is to consider how you would administer grades throughout the course of this unit. In what ways could you ensure that grading was equitable for all students who would participate in this unit? And one of the things we talked about a lot in the first block was the idea of critical literacy, and we spent a lot of time talking about the banking model. And so one of the contentions that I have about grading a lot of times is that grading is based more on that banking model of education. Grading is based a lot of times on the idea that there's not a lot of critical literacy that's infused throughout courses. I want you to have a conversation about that. If you're comfortable in your groups, and this is an optional question, have you ever been a victim of inequitable grading? Have you ever benefited from inequitable grading? And I'll let you guys talk about that if you want to, but that's an optional question. If you don't know each other well enough, that's cool. You don't have to talk about that one. Other questions to kind of focus ourselves this semester. What do you know about standards-based grading? Maybe some of you come from a standards-based background. Maybe you don't, but I just want to know your thoughts about that. What are your thoughts and feelings or experiences with homework? Sometimes I think that homework can lead to inequitable grading, and you can talk about that in your groups. What are your thoughts, feelings on accepting late work from students? You know, in the next couple of years, you guys are going to be out in your own classrooms. It's time to start thinking about how you will accept late work, or will you accept late work? And in the framework of late work, how does that contribute or alleviate equity in grading? What are your thoughts, feelings, and experiences with do-overs on assignments? What are your thoughts, feelings, experiences with project-based learning? So I'm going to ask you to talk about those things here in just a moment. And then what I'll have you do, I'll just show you this now so you can see where it is. Every off week, every week that we're not being in Zoom session, there'll be a section here that I'm going to ask you to look over. And so our first one for next week will be this section about late work and do-overs. There are 3 videos that I've posted here right now from a guy named Rick Wormelli, who I think is a really informed source on all of these things: late work, redos, retakes, do-overs, and how much homework should count, that sort of thing. So I'm going to ask you in the off week to take a look at those videos. I may add some extra things there, or I may take some stuff away, it depends. But I'll ask you to kind of look at those in between now and there, now and the next time we all get together. And then there's also, for the other things that we're going to focus on, there's a page on standards-based grading, a page on project-based learning. I haven't populated anything in there yet because number one, I don't know that I want you to look too far ahead. And number two, if something comes down from Dr. Smith where we would need to change our focus, I don't want you to have done all that and then end up not having to do it, if that makes sense. So that's the general gist of what the site is going to look like, what it looks like now. Those are the focusing questions. And so I'm going to, in just a few moments, I'm going to put you into these breakout sessions. I'm going to ask you to kind of speak about those questions with each other. I'm going to probably give you like, I don't know, 10 minutes to do that. Then I'm going to call you back here. We'll talk a little bit about those things. And then we'll probably try to get out of here. So is anybody not able to find the course website or anything like that? Anybody having issues with that? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw you into those breakout rooms. There are 20 of you here. I will probably put 5 breakout rooms of 4 people each, and you can kind of speak to those questions for that time period, and then we'll come back here in about 10 minutes. So let me see here. I'm going to automatically do this. One of your rooms will only have 3. The rest of you should have 4. And as you see those pop up, head on in. And I will see you in about 10 minutes. All right, so I've just resumed the recording. So
resumed.
Yeah, ha ha. I will mute you. I'm the only one that's supposed to make puns here. I think I can. I just muted you. Oh my gosh.
Did you just mute me?
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that was not nice.
I feel
the world's
power.
first real life mute button.
I did not know that you could do that actually. That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's just made the whole semester worth it right there. That's amazing. Okay. So hopefully you had a chance to talk about those focusing questions, had a chance to kind of look through the course website to kind of know a little bit about what's coming. I tried to get into every group. I didn't try. I got into every breakout session group so we could do a little bit of one-on-one talk about stuff. I just want to reassure you that there's nothing that's going to pop up from this course that we haven't talked about today. What you saw on there is what we're going to do over the framework of the rest of this semester, okay, the next 6 weeks. We'll get together 4 times, including this time, and then we'll have 2 non-Zoom weeks. And I'll be sure to populate those places in our course website with the videos, and if there's certain articles and things I want you to take a look at. Do enough with those that you can be informed in your conversations when you come back. I mean, your time is what it is, and you will be able to manage time the way that you need to manage time. I'm not going to micromanage it. I'm just going to offer you opportunities to process with each other when we come back, and that's the plan. If you have questions between now and then, you can always email me. I've been kind of swamped with my emails lately. I've today finally got to 0, and now I'm sure I'll have 50 after this session is done again. But email me. You can email me through Canvas, and that's probably better because that shows up in 2 different places for me. So if you want to get a response from that, or you can take a look in the syllabus for this course, and I think my cell phone number is in there, so you can always text me if you need to do that too. Okay. Any questions before I let you go? Okay. Again, I just hope that you're doing as well as can be, that you're managing, and that you're not getting too overwhelmed. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing familiar faces again. And I hope that the internet holds up for the next 6 weeks. You know, Facebook was down for a little bit yesterday, and it's like my whole social life disappeared. So I almost had to talk to my wife and kids. It was terrible. It was terrible. So anyway, I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks. If you have questions for me that you want to just ask, I'll stay on a little bit after everybody's gone, and you can ask those questions, and we'll go from there. So otherwise, take care of yourselves. Let me stop recording, and I will see you here in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.